Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden, and we are back with another incredible friend of the show. Not a guest, friend, podcast family. She's been on the show many times, so I'm going to be bringing her on in a few. But before we get started, hit my music. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Harden, and glad to be back with a new episode and continuing on with my series of incredible women in fantasy football, media, business. We're just since football is right around the corner. I've been having such a great time talking and discussing and from a lot of different incredible women in all these spaces, content creation, as I said, and fantasy football and all that. So, but I got another great friend of the show. We've met in person a couple of times, and such a joy to talk with and to be around as well. But again, once before I bring her on, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com. BS3 Network, Roku channel, iHeartRadio, wherever you consume podcasts, where the show is there. And you can follow me on all the social media platforms, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky, which I don't use Blue Sky much, but I'm on there too. So, but let me bring in my guest, the incredible and talented KellyinPhoenix, Kelly Singh, golfer, credentialed writer, fantasy sports on SI now, RotoWire, podcaster, Women of Fantasy Football. She does a little everything. So, but Kelly, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate it.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you. I'm actually getting text messages right now that they're not able to see us on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay. All right. Let me we can fix that. I just put it in the under our thing.
Oh,
So
do you see it now? Wendy, do you see it now?
I think
There
she
she
just said,
is.
yep, she said she's on. So thanks, Wendy, for tuning in. She was just on the show a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, we appreciate the love and the support as well.
Oh, I don't know. That's so weird. The other link isn't working anymore, but somehow they found us. So that's
Okay.
good.
That's good. Yes, because we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Twitter. It's definitely on Twitter. So we can. I'll share that again. But yeah. But how's everything going with you?
Going really well. It's been kind of a rough patch. I lost my job in November
Yeah.
and I have been looking ever since.
Yep.
But in the meantime, just over the last few months, I've been picking up side gigs, consulting because my career's in marketing. So I've been doing a lot of consulting. And then I started getting a lot of work in writing and podcasting, which has
Okay.
been very exciting.
Yes, and I know when the last time we talked, we talked even off camera a lot, off air, and you were talking about that. You said unfortunate situations that happen, and you said you were pushing forward and you were fighting and say, hey. I'm gonna get something, and now you said you've been having some time to now really dive into what you really love as well, and everything too. So been looking at the content, and you're writing. You're back to. I mean, you was always writing, but you're back to writing and everything too. So congrats on those, even if it's side gigs. Congrats on that because it's very important to you staying busy and staying present with a lot of different things too.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely hit kind of a rough patch right around February, right when we were headed to Super Bowl week.
Mm, Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I even want to go. What am I doing? I'm
Right.
just lost. I wanted to stay in bed all day. It was not good. And so then I ended up talking to my doctor. I already see a therapist because
Mhm.
life is messy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
psychiatrist because I openly discuss my ADHD. So I spoke to my psychiatrist about how I was feeling and we dealt with it together. So I'm in a
Yeah.
much better place.
That's good.
I, I also met a really random woman on at Super Bowl week. She
Mm.
just said to me, we're sitting on a media bus together, and she says, "You have a lot of energy. Like, do people tell you that you just kind of radiate a vibe?" And I'm like, "Actually, yeah, people do say that to me a lot."
Yeah.
And so we got to talking a bunch of like woo woo, spiritual universe things. And she led me, as weird as it sounds, in a guided meditation right there in the media bus. And then told me to be open to what the universe had for me and gave me a crystal that I still carry with me, and I just texted her a couple weeks ago and filled her in on where I'm at right now. And it was just such a neat experience, like life-changing experience.
Okay. All right. Well, like you said, you never know who you're gonna meet
That's
in
right.
in
You
this
never
journey.
know.
You never know and where. And yeah, it is interesting that you were able to meet someone, and you said therapy works, and you said you need those things that what helps you get through difficult situations and things like that. So yeah, but I'm glad that you said you're in a better place and better mindset. And yeah, it's like I mean, me and you, I think we talked about mental health and things that in this business in general, what can go through and things like that. But I am glad that you're in a better space and a better, and now with fancy football too coming up,
Yes.
now you are really locked in and ready to roll. So we got a couple shout outs here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, be Charlene Erickson, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And
Those are my girls. I don't know
yes.
if the link I retweeted was the right one or not, but
Yeah, and I just put it on for Twitter as well. I just sent the
Wendy,
link.
she put one. We're in a group chat, and here, I'll retweet that one. There we go. We're
Yeah,
in a
she
group
said,
chat, and so she shared the link with our group chat.
okay, yes, yes. She said mental health awareness. Yep, we are. Well, thanks. We appreciate the comments and the support as well. All right, let's get into this fantasy football and but let's first talk about the draft that you're about to get into and
Yeah.
trip to Vegas and I remember you talked about this on the last show, but talk a little bit about talk about that. It's a huge thing, and is this the second year you're doing this as well?
This is my third
Third
year,
year, okay.
but it's our first year making it a huge event.
Yeah.
And I feel so blessed, lucky, whatever, to have been asked to help market this event. There wasn't a huge runway of time, Courtney. Like,
Mm.
they reached out to me in June and were like, "Hey, do you think you could help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can." But then it takes time to get a landing page completed. I'm working with a team that I'm not super familiar with as far
Okay.
as the technical aspect, but we pull it off. The live drafts, there are 2 live drafts happening at Circa um, on Thursday of next week, and there's one online draft happening. And that one is not quite full yet. It's $49. It's for women only, and they get access to panels. And the panels include all great friends: Jen Piacenti, Lindsay Rhodes, Steph Smalls, Sam Holt, Kendall Valenzuela. We let some dudes pop in because they have value to add to the panels as well. So we have Michael Fabiano, who's popping in one of the panels.
Okay.
We have Joel Cox from CBS popping in on one of the panels. And we have actress Molly Barnett, who actually won Fab's Women's League that he helps to run last year. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if
Yeah.
anybody purchased their online ticket, they'll be able to see all the panels streaming. And I'm going to set up we have a speed networking kind of thing, and I'll set up my laptop so that the people online will also get rotation with our guests. So I think
Okay.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And again, like you said, it's a Circa Women's
Yeah.
Series in Vegas, and you're right. You said get access. It's on Kelly's page. Get access for the learning panels
Yeah.
and a seat in the draft for $49. So you got the registration page
I
on
got a
there.
little link. I can probably drop it here.
Yes. So yeah, drop that link and but this is excellent. He said all-star panel and
Oh, it was.
competitors and shout out to Sam Holt and Kendall Valenzuela they were both just on the show, good friends as well. And yeah, so then you said it's gonna be, and you also competition,
Yeah.
because they're still competing in against, and is this more like a high stakes type of
It um
draft or
It was high
yeah?
stakes, and then we ended up making it more of winning prizes this time. So
Okay.
we wanted to
Yeah.
attract. It used to be invite only, also. So
Hmm.
this is the first year. It's open to all women of all skill levels who want to learn, who want to compete, and prizes include a trip to Maui, a trip back to Vegas. Circa has been an incredible partner for years and years and years with full time fantasy, and now helping us to expand and make it, like I said, like a full event. Like we have a cocktail party,
Yeah.
we have the panels, we have VIP cabana time
Wow.
um, at the stadium swim. So it's packed. It's packed full.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I saw Jennifer Piacenti, excuse
Yeah.
me, Piacenti, Jennifer Piacenti. She put a post out say draft online with us as well. So yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. They said this is the most fun women's fantasy football event on the planet. So if you guys are in Vegas or anything like that this
Yeah.
next week, drop in and support. They said the panels, live drafts, things like that. So it was like it's gonna be an amazing time. I know you're very very excited for that.
I am. And that group, I was working with them. And the next thing I know, I find out that they have a stake in Sports Illustrated as well.
Mm,
And
yeah,
so I ended up, now I'm writing.
yeah.
Um,
Writing for
I'm
Sports
being
Illustrated.
paid for work that, at one time I just did because it was fun, but
Yeah, it's
uh,
like freelance. Yeah,
yeah,
in a way.
and
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated has been so good to me over the last month. I'm writing anywhere between 2 and 4 articles per day. And out of that, Roto Wire reached out to me
Yes.
and they contracted with me to write a series for fantasy football beginners to make
Mm,
it not intimidating.
yep.
And following that, like, what was that? Let's Fantasy Game is a women's sports group, WNBA and women's soccer, and all of those great things. And Sam Holt and I have been contracted to do a 2-minute quick mini pod every week. And that has been so much fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been a roller coaster. Oh, and DraftKings is sponsoring the Sick podcast.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Cardinals Connection is the new rebrand. And so like I said, all these little gigs just started piling up, and life is good now.
Yeah, you just you getting the positions, the gigs, and really doing it. So we got Gina in here. Gina Noble said I made it, so shout out to her. We also have Charlene says, Kelly, I'm already making plans for next year. So
We're gonna open up registration for next year on
mhm,
Friday of next week. So everybody should keep an eye out for that. Just got to ride the momentum. Everybody's really excited about this new event, and being able to give people more time to plan is
yeah.
amazing. And I'm super excited.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, a lot of good things happening for you. And so congrats on everything you got
Thanks.
coming up. And you were you just at the Fantasy Football Expo this year as well?
I ended up not going to the Fantasy
Okay.
Football Expo.
Okay.
It's the first time in 5 years that I haven't been, and I just had to make kind of a boring adult decision
You had to be an
because
adult. We had to be an adult, right?
I did.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, my savings is kind of dwindling. It wouldn't be the best financial
right.
decision.
I get it.
I know a lot of people were sad, Wendy, for one,
Wendy
because I was
says
gonna fly
broke her
to fly
heart.
to Wendy, and we were gonna road trip together. And then I was even registered for the golf tournament, and
Mm.
Linda filled in for me, and they won. So
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we gotta make those adult decisions because I didn't go either. I didn't go last year just because you said financially got other things around the same time, which took precedent and
mhm.
everything too. Because Wendy said the same thing to me when I had her on the show. She said, "Oh, you're not gonna be there." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna be here this year." And also Rachel Tootsie Pop, she said the same thing. And yeah, it was yeah, I had to make gotta make those type of decisions sometimes. But maybe we'll see what it brings next year, and
Yeah.
everything.
I
So,
mean, I also had to give up my spot in the Queen's Classic,
mm.
which Gina is defending her title.
Yes, she says all tight ends were safe. Yes, we know you love your rack up on your tight ends. That was the only positive. You probably would have your first 7, 8 picks would have probably been tight ends.
Well, last year was not a great year for tight ends, and I
Mm.
absolutely filled every single flex spot. I was playing 4 plus tight ends every week. Was not a great strategy last year because they were just off their game for sure.
Yeah.
But Gina was Gina was not happy with me last year, but she ended up winning. So
Yes, defending her title. Got to defend her title. So yeah, she's the champion. So it's always about defending the title. Charlene says adulting sucks. Yeah.
for
Yes,
sure.
yes, it definitely can. But we have to make those decisions as well. John O. Smith for the win. There it is. Yes, tight end. We'll see with the tight end grouping this year. What it's like. It seems like there's a few elites of it. New at the top. A couple new names at the top, but you still got your veterans as
Yep.
well, and George Kittle, and we'll see what Travis Kelsey what he's got left. Maybe uh, the interview with Taylor Swift, maybe that'll boost him a little bit. I'm
Maybe.
sure,
I'm still have faith in my boyfriend, Mark Andrews,
And
this
Mark
year.
Andrews, yes, your guy, Mark Andrews, for sure.
Yep.
And
Especially with Isaiah Likely, he may be out, the first couple of weeks.
yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
see some more targets for Mark
yes,
Andrews, I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah. If you don't get those elites, you can, Evan Ingram. He's
Yep.
in a new system, but they're gonna feature him a little bit more. And you got Tucker Kraft and Sam Laporta. So yeah, there's a lot of good tight ends. Just getting the right one or two to help your fantasy league. But you talk about your 4-part series that you're
Yeah.
doing for RotoWire. You just released the second article and everything too. Which, by the way, excellent article as
Thank
well.
you.
That's fantasy football beginners in partnership. What you're doing. So talk a little bit about that. Like you said, like anyone that wants to get into fantasy football and because I know it could be intimidating for some, just how to start and who to draft and everything too. But talk a little about the perspective of what you're bringing into fantasy football for beginners.
Yeah, for sure. So the first article on RotoWire launched last week, and it focused on uh, pretty much a high level strategy,
Mm,
items that you might want to have to help you out, and just how to not feel super intimidated going into
yeah,
your first draft.
right.
And then this week, piggybacked on that more. How do I find a league if I'm not in one? Or what if I want to join additional leagues? What kind of leagues are out there? What would be best for me? And that was this week's article. Next week, it's either next week or the following week, I'm teaming up with Lauren Jump from Roto World, and
Mm,
we
yeah.
are doing an article geared more specifically towards women. Not to say that men wouldn't gain anything from the article. The first two are just anybody. The one with Lauren, the collab, is really aimed at women, just to, you know, make them feel included, and not even just included, but there is something a little different about being a woman in the fantasy space in a unisex group, especially because sometimes you're afraid to ask questions. And that doesn't happen to just women, but I know it can be more intimidating for a lot of women. So the goal is to help ease fears, boost confidence, and
Mm.
help new players, whether they're a man or a woman, just feel more prepared going into their draft.
I love it. I love that. And you're right. And shout out to Lauren Jump too. I just had her on the show too
Oh, yay.
during this. Yeah. So we finally got to do this because I was trying so hard to get her on the show because I love that she does she hosts and do a lot of different things, and she hosts golf.
Yeah.
Remember seeing that and RotoWire, and then we finally did it. So yeah, so it was incredible to meet her and have her on the show. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that collaboration as well. So, but let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about some of your Arizona Cardinals and do a little preview, and then I'll have a couple more, and then I'll let you go. But the Arizona Cardinals coming in again another season, and some changes and things like that. But you bringing back basically the same offense. Kyler Murray is still the QB, and he's going. It seems like he's getting back to what he was maybe a couple of years ago and everything too. But what do you think of the upcoming season for the Cards and in that division, which is pretty wide open? The Rams, they're dealing with some issues with their quarterback, Matthew Stafford, and injuries, and we don't know what the 49ers. They're bringing, they got some changes, but they were decimated by injury last season as well. And then Seattle, new QB as well. So Cardinals may have a shot. It's a wide open division. So talk about what your expectation for the Cardinals this year.
I am really excited about the
Mm,
Cardinals this year, and I'm not the only one. It's a new team, even though the offense is pretty much the same as it's
yeah.
been, but the defense has been highly improved upon. Now
Mm,
we're seeing national rankings, making them maybe the third, fifth, definitely top 10 defense in the
yeah.
league. At least that's the anticipation. So we're super excited about that. Calais Campbell coming back home and saying this may be his last year as a
Yeah.
finishing his career as a Cardinal. That's been really exciting. We picked up Josh Sweat. That was really
Yeah,
exciting.
stolen from my Eagles. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Couldn't pay him. Yeah, just couldn't afford him. But hey, that's how it is.
And the division, like you said, it's wide open for the taking.
Yeah,
And honestly, nobody really knows how San Francisco is going to fare.
right.
Seattle and San Francisco, it feels like they were pretty picked apart in the off season and then pieced back together.
Yeah,
So I feel like the Rams may be our toughest challenge in the division this season. But, you can't count anybody out. The NFL not for long, I guess, is what they say, or
Yeah.
any given Sunday, anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. I think offensively the Cards should be good, and
Mhm.
long as health wise especially, but that's for every team. But they're relying on having a healthy Kyler Murray, the
Yes.
run game with James Conner, which I always get them in drafts and things like that for fantasy. So you do have the running game there, and then also see what Marvin Harrison can do. Not he didn't have the year that I think we all anticipated, but it's only his first year. You got McBride, who's a stud tight end as well. So the passing game should be fine. So yeah, offensively they should be pretty good. You said now the
Mhm.
defense is getting some recognition. So should be an interesting year for the Cardinals. We'll see where they land.
For sure. I think it's going to be a great year. I I think we put a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations on Marvin Harrison Jr. And when you look
Hmm.
at his stats at the end of the year, they were pretty great still. And they lined
Yeah.
up with his father's stats, who's a Hall of Famer from
Yeah.
his rookie year. So I
Right.
feel like there was a little bit of too high of expectations, but sometimes that happens because rookies are coming in and they're just going off, but I feel like this is a much more sustainable path. It's
Right.
not like just exploding and burning out. He's doing well and he's going to build on that in an upward trend. We also had Michael Wilson, who is out quite a
Yeah.
bit with injury, but has strengthened, bulked up like Marvin Harrison Jr. a little bit, getting stronger, prepared to not be injured. And Trey Benson, James Conner's already said that he plans on splitting a lot more targets with Trey Benson this season. So if you have James Conner, I highly recommend grabbing Trey Benson as your handcuff if you're able to.
Yeah, because Connor, he's the lead back, but sometimes he breaks down too, with that volume that he has. But you're right. I think that the passing game and the run game
Mhm.
should be fine. And you're right, and I agree with you about Marvin Harrison Jr. I think expectations were very high, and towards the end of the year, he started to get a connection with Kyler Murray, and I think that was part of the issue. They were just trying to find a connection, and Kyler Murray he relied on McBride. So now, but like you said, they're probably gonna key in on McBride. So I think Marvin Harrison Jr. he's too talented not to be to meet those expectations. So I think he's gonna have a pretty good year as well,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think that Trey McBride is going to have a great year as well, even better than
Mhm.
last year. He was pretty much neck and neck with Brock Bowers last season,
Yeah. Yep.
outside of touchdowns. So I think this is the year of Trey McBride. I worry a little bit about Brock Bowers, but not enough to not draft him. But
Yeah.
I do feel like there'll be some regression, and not a natural regression, but a regression because of the situation the Raiders are in with a new quarterback, with losing some of their other weapons, gaining new weapons, and just trying to retool because Brock Bowers was pretty much the only option
Yeah.
um, that the quarterbacks felt comfortable going with. And now we have Geno Smith, who's a seasoned veteran, and he knows more. Like, I feel like he just has better vision of the field and is going to vary those plays more. And so Brock Bowers may see a regression just because the field may be more spread out this
Yeah.
year for them.
Yep, more wide open,
Yeah.
and they got Ashton Genty. So they're and
Yep.
Pete Carroll, from Seattle, loves to run the football. So so it might be, it probably be a more running team. We'll see. But like I said, with Geno Smith, and he coached Geno Smith as well. He knows his strengths and weaknesses, and but Brock Bowers will be his security blanket for sure. But you're right; it might be a little bit more spread out, more wide open for the Raiders. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how teams are going to
Yeah.
progress during the season. So all right, well, I want to get back to a little bit of fantasy football. So I've asked all my guests this question who does fantasy football. What makes a great fantasy football manager?
I think a great fantasy football manager is able to anticipate what might happen
Hmm.
so that you're prepared for, for anything really. I am horrible at paying
Mhm.
attention to the waiver wire. So, something that I really pay attention to when I'm drafting is, what if this person gets injured? Am I going to have a backup for that
Right.
person? So, being able to anticipate what's going to happen is really important. And I would say that I should be paying more attention to the waiver wires
Right.
because that also is the sign of a good fantasy manager that's able to see what's available, what can I make happen out of
Right.
this.
I love that. I love it. Yes, because it's interesting because we never win a league or never win with just at the draft. That's part of
Right,
the process. You
right.
said be prepared to draft, but the waiver wire, really pay attention. Um, I think those are some added things that makes a great fantasy football manager because and have fun. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun. Yes, we want to win. We want to win money, be the champion. I think those are it's great, but have fun with your league mates because you're drafting with a lot of times you're drafting with friends. Yes, you're competitors, but you're drafting with your friends
Right.
as well. Look, you're going to Vegas with a lot of your friends, and
Yes.
and in general, it's like a vacation being together, but you're also drafting as well to try to win. But it's all about having fun too. So I think those are a couple of things as well. Let's talk a little. I got two more, and I'll let you go. The growth of women of fantasy football. I think we talk about this every
Yeah.
year, and look, you say you got the Vegas draft, and you see all the content creators and analysts and fans just getting into it and having fun. But talk about the growth of what you've seen over the last few years of how much women in fantasy football has grown.
Yeah, for sure. I would say in the last 5 years that women were kind of like the token. We were,
Mm,
let's be inclusive, said the fantasy football community, and then
mm,
plug a few women in here and there. And as it grew, it just got bigger and bigger. And we had people who were content consumers. When you mentioned Rachel Tootsie Pop, wanting to do more. And she came over to Women of Fantasy Football a couple of years ago and wanted to do a women's chat. And I fully supported that and helped her to launch
yeah.
Unwind. And now that's become like a whole project of its own. She's doing a great job with it.
Yep.
And I know a lot of women are getting a lot of value out of that. Women of Fantasy Football and Club Fantasy have been working really hard to create brand new shows. We've had Mock Girl Summer. We have Sam Holt like doing another show, even Starts and
Yeah.
Sits. We have Wendy coming back to do the Sneaky Girls, which is just the Sneaky Girl Sneaky Flex, which is a
Yeah.
15-minute segment with little girls, the next generation, making their picks, and we're teaching. So not only that, but they're highlighting female creators from all over. So not just those who are doing shows for Women of Fantasy Football and Club Fantasy, but any woman who's sharing her content, who's sharing her knowledge, we're out there amplifying it. And Women of Fantasy Football is a partner for the Circle Women series this year. So that's really exciting too.
For sure. And Charlene says Unwind has put her in touch with so many amazing women. Yeah, that's Rachel Tootsie Pop. She's yes, and then she just was leading a panel of women
Mhm.
of fantasy football, and they're doing incredible. She's doing incredible work, and I love what what a lot of the talented, incredible women are doing. You said not just the podcasting and
Yeah.
radio, and Kendall Valenzuela is on daily, Sirius XM.
Yep.
She's doing that, and the Matthew Berry Fantasy Life. There, the Sam Holt. Like I said, so many
Yes.
women are doing such amazing things in this space. I just love see. I just sit back and just even the women I've had on the show have been incredible, and just talking about the growth and unifying and strengthening. Just having, you said, having that table, and you guys are really leading the charge. So
Yes.
I sit back and enjoy it, and I'm enjoying watching it continue to keep growing, and anything I can do to have a platform for you guys to share and everything else, I'm all for it.
That's so great. I mean, you've always been very supportive. I see Charlene had a comment saying that the Unwind group has put her in touch with so many amazing women. And
Yeah.
that's true because Charlene, Gina, Wendy, these women who are showing up here in the chat for me, Stacy
Yeah.
Perez, um, and gosh, I know I'm forgetting people, Angie Hatfield.
Oh, yep.
Um, I know I'm forgetting a person right now, but we talk every single day, all of
Mm.
us. And whether it's by text message or FaceTime or in
Yep.
a Twitter group chat, there's like a core group of us who have just really bonded and been able to just chit chat and kiki all day, you know? So it's kind of
Yeah.
fun to just bounce those things off of each other. And of course, Sam and Kendall. Sam's one of my very best friends, and I lived with her for a couple years when I was working in California. And now we get to do a weekly show together
Yeah.
and we get to travel together. I mean, fantasy football has just really changed my life for the better.
Yes, that community and the
Mhm.
networking. And you said you just don't know who you're gonna run into, and I think that's a good thing with social media. That's one of the good things about social media is connecting and networking, and
Yeah.
the community, bringing people together. I think it's amazing and so much. All right, last one. It's a fun one. I wanted to ask you, if you were the head of all of fantasy football. I'm talking like if you were like if you just put it all out there, all the sites, all the websites, all everything else. If you were like the general manager or the owner, and they had like a league, a big league, what changes would you make?
Oh, that's such a good question. Oh, if I was the head of all of fantasy football, that I
Mhm.
think that what makes fantasy football great is the variety of ways that you can play fantasy
Yeah.
football. So I think just making sure that people are aware of what kinds of leagues are available because some people don't know about dynasty or IDP or
Mhm.
best ball. They don't understand the difference between PPR and half PPR or what is
Yeah.
tight end premium. There are so many different ways, vampire, guillotine, and finding a way to play that suits your playing style or your personality is going to make it a lot more fun for everyone. So I think if I was in charge of all of fantasy football, I would make sure there was enough education out there to help people have the most fun that they could ever have.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. You're right, and there are a variety. There's so much that people don't understand. The guillotine leagues, and as you said, best ball, and there's so many different ways to play. It's not just redraft and just regular draft. You got the Scott Fish Bowl. You got a lot of these different ways to play DFS. I know me and
Yeah,
you are both. There's a lot.
love
We always
DFS.
locked in. Yeah, we always locked into that and everything, and then having so many drafts, 10, 15 drafts, and a lot of these different things. So yeah, helping others, educating. I think I
Yes.
love that. I really do
Yeah,
like
because
that.
people sometimes they just think, or if they're invited to play fantasy football and they're like, "Oh, it's just not, I don't think it's my thing. I like
Mhm.
football, but I don't know if I can manage all of that." Well, you don't have to play best ball. Or, I don't have that many friends. That's okay. Join a dynasty league and you're going to make friends year
Yeah.
after year. The same group of people you're going to hang out with in your chat, or if it's in person, year after year. So I think there's something for everybody, and there just needs to be more education about how to have fun
Yeah.
and compete while having fun.
Exactly, because now you got kids that they do it for fun. I
Mhm.
love seeing that, and my nephews, and they were when they were growing up, and now they're mid 20s, and they are always watching me do draft. They wanted to get into it, and so they watched me, and now they're they're contacting me about the parlays and their DraftKings lineups and things
Yep.
like that. I'm like, I'm trying to win too, so I can't give you all my tips, but it was good that to see them grow up and watch, and now they talk about their 9-10 leg parlays, and they said always asking them for advice about, oh, should I use this QB and should I
Yeah.
use this QB? Should I get this running back? Who's gonna my lineup construction and all that? So, but I love that. Like I said, educating and helping them out as well. So Charlene had another comment. She said, I'm a year behind. I went to LA Live SFB last draft this year, and I went to my first expo this year. I guess we wasn't at either of those one day.
Me. I
Oh,
hosted Scott Fishbowl LA Live for 3 years while I was at Trophy Smack,
yeah.
and I wasn't there this year. They decided not to host it this year,
Mm,
and I hosted in Phoenix. I know they still had an LA Live, at a different location, and I heard that it was a lot of fun. Phoenix, we hosted at a women's sports bar called Title IX. It's kind of a tiny place, so we only had 2 divisions,
mm,
but it was
yeah.
so much fun, and we even had friends come from California to play. Mr. Scampers and Dame Overboard both came in and played with us, so lots of fun to see them.
Yes, yes, and like you said, somehow we'll always meet up somewhere, whether
Mhm.
it's at a live draft or Super Bowl. I mean, it could be that Radio Row
Yep.
somewhere. We find a way to expose, and we'll find a way
Yes.
to do it. So I'm sure
Speaking
we'll.
of Radio Row, Courtney, if anybody happens to be in Vegas the week of the 18th, next week, Radio Row will be open, especially Friday, the 22nd. And you don't need to purchase the event pass to come and say hi and hang out. I would gladly just ask for me,
Yeah.
and we'll get you in. We'll say hi, what's going on, and you'll get to meet and greet a few people. I'd love to see anybody who happens to be in downtown Las Vegas and just wants to stop by and say hi next week.
That is so cool. That the open Radio Row. If I was in Vegas, I would already be there. So we would have probably did some shows or something like that. There's a lot of some podcasts there at Radio Row, which we've enjoyed when we got a chance to do Radio Row in Vegas a couple of years ago, which was a lot of fun. So Kelly, it's always a pleasure catching up with you, and I can't thank you enough. Just our friendship and connection every time I ask you to come on, you do, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of that as well. Again, I can't thank you enough. So, but let everyone know where they can follow you, your journey.
Yeah,
'Cause I know you're an open book, so
it's true.
you're open book. So, but let everyone know where they can follow you and follow your writing, the articles, and all those things.
Yeah, of course. You can find me all day, every day at KellyinPhoenix on the app formerly known as Twitter. I do
Yeah,
pop in probably once a week. I'm trying to get better at getting there at Blue Sky under the
yeah,
same name, KellyinPhoenix. Instagram, I'm trying to build my fantasy football Instagram versus my personal. I try and keep my personal life somewhat personal,
yeah.
But you can find me on Instagram at the real KellyinPhoenix, and that's where a lot of our Let's Fantasy game content is now popping up. So be sure to check that out because it's a lot of fun learning how to play in contests with
Yeah.
women's sports. It's a whole new ball game, pun
Yes.
intended.
It's a whole new ball game. Yes, we love it. We love it
Oh,
again.
oh, I'm still doing the Sick Podcast Network,
Oh,
Cardinal
yes.
Connection. We
Mhm.
do a weekly show. We've been kind of every other week in the off season, but next week is our first official week in sponsorship and partnership with DraftKings. So keep an eye out for that as well.
Absolutely. Follow, like I always say, follow, share, subscribe, like all those things. I mean, that's the least you can do to support and everything too, and show up. Whatever any content that Kelly puts out, like I said, share it, like it, subscribe,
Thank
all those
you.
things. So, but again, thank you, Kelly, so much. Really, really appreciate you, and have a safe trip to Vegas. Enjoy it. Have some fun. I'm sure I'll probably pop in on one of the lives whenever they have it up and
Yep.
everything too. So I'll be looking forward to that, listening in as
Yeah.
well. So yeah,
Kendall, she's gonna go live 7 a.m. Pacific time on Sirius XM. Her show is 7 a.m. Pacific every Friday. So she's
yeah,
gonna keep up her schedule and they'll still be doing the show. Same time, same
yeah.
channel. Just pop on in and she'll be live from Radio Row at Circa.
Oh, looking forward to that as well. So, all right, Kelly, thank you again. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy, like I said, next week as well. And we'll be doing this
Yes.
again very soon.
Courtney, thank you so much for having me. You're the best. I am so glad to call you friend.
Me too. Thank you, and me too. I'm glad to call you friend as well. I really appreciate it and enjoy. All right, well, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.